Hey, Scott, not a lot. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. A little unexpected news hit the market today.
Yeah. I went out, took my dog on a walk, man. I came back and what the heck? But
Uh-huh.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's talk about that in just a moment. But let's first I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Looks like we're having a good crowd, and we do have some first timers in here. So and I'm going to talk about some uh, all the education and training that we have here at Trade Ideas. But first, let's dive in and go over the disclaimers. All right, we are a content publisher. Okay, we what we're doing today is for educational purposes only. Nothing that you see or hear should be construed as investment advice. Okay, if you are looking for that kind of information, you want to seek out somebody who holds a license that would be a registered advisor or a stockbroker. All right, the agenda for today, we're going to do the market recap. And like I was saying, pretty much my words when I came back from walking my dog, what was that, and we'll see. Don't like to try to guess too much based on the verbiage, that you hear out there. So, yeah, I'll wait and let the price action kind of dictate, but still an ugly day. And what looked like, Jamie, could have been a an all-time high in both the averages, but it wasn't the case. So we'll go from here. We'll take a look at the technicals and see what we have to prepare ourselves for. Holly recap, different story there. Impressive day, and we'll definitely have some trades to break down there. But boy, in a nasty market, that was a very impressive showing for Holly. Uh, and then we're going to talk about some things that I do. If you're, uh, anytime you have like a nasty move in the market, I kind of want to know what held up. To me, when you get some panic selling like that, now let's face it, this is in the overall grand scheme of thing, it's not panic selling, but for a time there, for a few hours, a couple of hours, yeah, there was some massive selling going on. So anytime I see that, I like to look around and see what kind of held up, during that. And there's several ways to do that, but I'm going to focus on my uh, revenue. Oh, geez, what's the name of that one? Anyway, I'll pull it up in a minute. My one
Revenue
where
growth fishing.
thank you, revenue growth fish.
Ah,
Oh, look at there. Jamie knows my windows more than better than I do. Uh, all right, and then something I was working on earlier in the day and had a lot of stuff in it. It was a little top list called tight range and a strong score. Needless to say, after that plunge in the market, that window kind of became really only a few stocks left. But anyway, we're going to show that. I think it's great to know when you have a market that is kind of stable and bullish and trending higher, to find these stocks that are kind of in a tight range, maybe going sideways, and they have a really strong score. That's going to be our composite rating score that we have. And we'll take a look at the price alert game from last week, and we will do it again. So let me go over quickly the 5-star support, education, and training here. Guys, we have lots of material for you, lots of resources for you to help you with trade ideas. And we're adding, it seems like, more and more stuff, every week. Some of the big things you see over there on the left side is the traders room. And I'm sure most of you guys are in there. If you're not, you need to get in there because it's free for everyone. You don't have to have a Trade Ideas subscription. Uh, Moderated by Barry. He's been doing this for a long time trader like everybody, all the traders here at Trade Ideas. Uh, and he does a great job of moderating the room, but he also does a really good job of helping people. So he's in there for like 6 hours. All right. So obviously you can't keep everybody's attention with calling out stocks for that long. So he encourages everybody to ask questions so he can help you out. He really enjoys that. So don't be hesitant thinking that you don't want to be a nuisance for all the traders in there. You're not, and a lot of the traders in there will help you as well. So the attendees, they're great at helping. And we have webinars Monday through Thursday in the 5 o'clock. That's 5 Eastern time slot. You can see the lineup there on the left side. Great place to come. We encourage interaction, questions, even though we do have content to present. Don't worry, we'll get to your questions. Sometimes it may be toward the end, but we'll get to them. And of course, whoever's manning the questions panel, in this case will be Jamie. He'll do what he can do just by texting you the answers. In most cases, he can knock them out like that. All right, and the big one is the support webinar. I'll move over to the next slide to talk about this. This is our daily support session. It's every day at 12 Eastern time. We just open up a live stream. We actually steal berries for about an hour, and guys, come in there, ask questions. That's the best place to come. Okay, you send an email to us. All you're going to get back is a bunch of text words that try to explain. It's just not as good as having a visual, and that's what you're going to get in this support session. So remember, 12 Eastern time every day, Monday through Friday. All right, I'll save this one for Scott on the way out, and let's dive in. I did want to pull up to show you Bitcoin is really kind of selling off pretty hard here. That's the 15-minute chart in Bitcoin. And for those who may be interested, and let's take a look at the 1 day and see if we're, and there you have it. We've finally got back to that low, that kind of a crash flash it had on us weekend, I believe it was, Jamie. So anyway, we'll see where this leads. Might we be having some, just some overall asset selling going on? We'll see if there's any follow through tomorrow in the major indices. All right, put it back on there, and let's dive in here. Pull the SPYs up, and I guess we really need to show the intraday for those who may have missed it. There was your action in the SPYs intraday. Like I said, everything was setting up pretty. Took out yesterday's high. Looked like we were going to climb higher, and then the news came out about. I'm not going to get too much in the news, but basically just maybe your kind of a wealth tax, capital gains tax being proposed. So we'll see what happens. Nobody likes when it comes to your gains. Yeah, I'm not gonna get there. I'm definitely not gonna get political. Not gonna get political. No, Jamie, I'm tiptoeing here, buddy. Help me out.
Well, the bottom line is 1 minute we're up there just kind of taking a nap, really close to all-time highs. Next thing you know, things start happening. People start looking around, find out, oh, well, they're talking about raising capital gains tax somewhere between 42 and 47%.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
And it's all knee-jerk reaction right now because it's all just talk, but
right.
We'll have to just see what happens.
Yeah, there you go. We definitely will. But I tell you what, it does make it tough for trading when you get action like this: red bar, green bar, red bar. That makes it kind of ugly there, and we'll have to see what happens. Basically we did close below our fast line. We'll have to see if there's some more selling going on tomorrow. Maybe we push down here to the 20-period moving average and see if we can kind of get a hold. We do have kind of a little ledge right here that was going to marry up close to that 20 period average there, 3-day ledge. So that would be a little bit support, and not only that, the 20-period moving average. So that, or maybe the 50, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, but it's anytime you see that kind of volume coming in and some massive selling, and we really didn't, the algos didn't come in on the close and push this thing up close to highs. So you have to have it in the back of your mind, is there going to be some follow through tomorrow? But other than that, I can't think of a really, strong, bearish case to be made. It's just something that you have to, anticipate. I'm not one to like sit around and wait and sit in stocks for like big moves to see if, it's one thing if you hold some mutual funds or maybe hold some long-term positions in Apple and things like that, and you want to hang on to it. Me, I'm more of a, when things don't look good, I get out and look for re-entries, but I've always been that kind of way. All right,
if that move would have happened organically without any quote unquote news or whatever, we're just cycling back down to the the bottom of the range that's trying to develop.
Right.
So it's not really political. Now, the words that spook the market happened to come out of a politician's mouth.
Yeah,
But that's about as political as it gets. But hey, nobody
sure.
wants to get taxed at that rate. So, I'm sure this is going to be talked about for the upcoming weeks. And, there's a lot of big boys that don't want to get taxed that much too. So we'll see where it plays.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be interesting, but like I said, let the price action confirm, everything. That's anytime on any news, whether it's a company that has a great earnings and you're thinking they're just going to blast off, just wait and get a confirmation from the price action, because it's very easy to build up some sentiment, on what you think the stock could do, and a lot of times that can get in the way of your trading and just your technical reading of charts. All right, let's take a look. IWM actually kind of held up, Jamie. I mean, it's strange. This thing a few days ago was looking the weakest, and today, it held up better than the other ones. So,
I know
so
George was commenting on that in the questions panel, and yeah,
okay,
it
yeah,
didn't get beat up near as bad as the SPY or
yeah,
especially the Q.
go figure. And Q's pretty much like the spies, probably a little bit uglier. But let's see what happens. Like I said, there's not too much of a bear case to be made. I think you just got to kind of watch and see what happens tomorrow if we take out this 3-day low, and if we come down to this 20 period. And you can also see a kind of a ledge that we had, a 3-day ledge there on the Qs as well. So some things to look at. But boy, Jamie, if you're like me, it's hard to analyze everything just by looking at the overall indices, because everybody that trades knows there can be a 0.5% move in a major indice and your stock get nailed for 5%. I see that all
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
all too
Yeah,
familiar with that.
yes, all way too familiar. So cut your size back. Be nimble. All I can say is it's even though we're near all-time highs, there's some wacky stuff going on out there. So uh, I can't put my finger on it. I don't think a lot of people can put their finger on it. So all you can do is just adjust. Steve always says only two things you can control: it's your attitude and your share size. So one of the easiest ways is with share size. You just cut back and you're able to take those volatile moves. And if you're like a lot of traders right now and you're experiencing difficulty getting the profits and your losses are too big, it only stands to reason cut your share size back. I can't tell you how much that can help you, even if you cut it by 3 times. If you're used to trading 300 shares, trade 100 shares. All right, let's move on. Jamie, do you have anything you want to add to the spies?
Oh no, I mean, it is what it is, little black swan coming into the scene today, and
Yeah.
who knows, tomorrow we could be pecking at all-time highs again. Might just soak this right up and head higher, or the opposite. So
Yeah,
we
that's
will
true.
see. Hmm.
But boy, you got a sweet stocks to talk about today in Holly. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, let me
Some
go ahead and
good
grab it
ones.
here because there
Yeah.
was some beauty in the works today.
Hmm.
All right, you should have eyes on my screen.
Hmm.
All right, so first off, let's just take a look. I went ahead and sorted by moderate profit here. In case there are any new people, what we're doing is we're looking at this column right here, and we're also going to look at conservative profit. This is one of 3 things that I typically like to showcase, assuming they are present. So you might remember the last couple of weeks when we've had these 5 o'clock webinars, whether it be mine or Andy's, it was a little hard to find any stocks at the end of the day that had a spread between conservative and moderate, but not the case today. So let's take a look at that first one here, XM, and just a lot of good things about this trade. And this is the one, yeah, they had earnings yesterday. So they gapped up, set up nicely here in the first 1, 2, 3, right about the first hour, these being 15-minute candles here. Holly calls that buy right here. So we got gold star number 1. Holly's bringing it to us with statistical probability. Now, it's not that hard to extrapolate. When that trade came out, what am I thinking about right here? And that wick right there is the initial high. What do we have that might play out on top of the Holly call? We got that secondary pattern that might emerge in the form of an ORB, opening range break, which does happen here. So this would have been a great place to A, stay in the trade with confidence, or even better, B, that is a great time to add to that position as that secondary pattern is playing out there. So we got statistical probability, we got this secondary pattern that plays out, nice add opportunity, or just to give us confidence to stay in the trade. And then on top of that, we got banging volume all day. I mean, this thing was a lot higher in the earlier in the day, but closed out 9.76 on the relative scale. So you had three good things there, all from one from Holly, statistical probability, a nice time to add to the position, and tons of volume. And of course, you can see what this thing did for the rest of the day. At the add-on position here, that came in right about 40, 49, 40, 50 or so, and then this thing capitulated up to 42.81. So whether you just set in the initial trade or added to it, it was just a great trade, 3-star trade all the way around. So love it when that happens. Big spread there. I think during the day, this had gotten up to around 400. So we were looking at a 4x compared to conservative profit. Next one, got a little short side action too. And once again, obviously there's a seller in SCIC for the first 45 minutes, but you know what happens. They can't just dump it all, have too much market impact. So the seller takes a break right here. We get the sideways action for about an hour and a half or so. Holly says, you know what? It's settled down. I think I'll take a stab here and go short, 57.20. Even though there was an add opportunity here, not near as much movement as we saw in XM, but the pattern remains the same. When we're in this area right here, we get that statistical probability from Holly. What happens? Just a nice consolidation period for quite some time. And then we get that secondary pattern playing out again here in the form of a range break. Would have been a nice time to add to it. And that level, I think there was about another point at maximum here. So we got 56, 57 there, about 55, 46. So just slightly over a point from the point that that opening range break to the downside occurred. So once again, a great place to add to the position. Same thing as the XM trade, statistical probability, a well-behaved consolidation, a break to the downside, along with pretty significant volume on the day. This one not near as much volume as XM, but pretty much the same pattern, but just to the downside, one long and one short. So not too bad there from Holly. Of course, CVM was a good trade, but we didn't have any spread at the end of the day here. And what I will point out about CVM is we had more of the same. We had the same thing happen in CVM as these prior to, the short and the long, XM, SEIC, because look what we have here. We have the same type of potential playing out. Holly gets in early right here with the statistical probability, 2313. What might happen and what did happen? Another opening range break. Now this one a little bit trickier because technically it happened right here. And then it took a pullback to the entry line, builds a little steam, comes back up here and then just punches through, right? But nowhere near the stop out, staying well above the entry signal, the duration. So you would have had to wait a little bit longer on this one, but 24.71 on the opening range break, all the way up to almost 28 bucks. Okay, so a lot of potential there on the add-on. And of course, look at that volume. All right, so 3 really good add-on opportunities and secondary patterns playing out in XM, SEIC, and CVM. A little bit of spread here in RPD, but not really any secondary patterns to point out. Had decent volume, but you know, just due to the nature of the energy expenditure. Of course, Holly calling it here, right, late in the day, and it worked, but it was just a nice little grind up over that 30-minute period. Not near as pretty as the prior 3 that we looked at there. So Andy, some really good trades, some really good setups, good add opportunities. I mean, that's just 3 golden trades in one session. Usually maybe you get one of those, 2 of those. But today we got 3 of them. Really good stuff.
It was really good stuff, and I was quite happy with her. So thank you, Jamie. You broke it down well.
No problem. Let me kick it back over to you
Okay.
here.
All right, so let's take a look at Intel. I know they had earnings after the bell, and yeah, going lower, that's for sure. So see if that's going to weigh on the Nasdaq. Excuse me. Well, we can always pull up the Qs. It just doesn't have the same, not really, doesn't really have the same impact as it used to with all the big giant conglomerates out there in the form of Google, Amazon, Facebook, but they've taken over a huge part of the queues. As a matter of fact, I think it's 5 companies almost make up 50%. All right, so let's talk about it though. It was a nasty move there, regardless of how the overall picture looks on the daily chart. It was a very nasty move there during midday. So what I'd like to do is, and the SPY's almost finished down 8%. I like to look to see kind of what held up, what finished up on the day, and when I normally like to look at stocks that, like I said, have been beaten up, and this revenue growth fishing is where I find the most of them. And you can see this thing is, if I sort by change from the close, you're going to see that there's quite a few stocks here that finished up on the day. Okay, well, the way I have my configuration set up, it almost kind of forces them to, but that's okay. We're still seeing stocks that are up on the day. And before I move on, there's something in my mind, and I've noticed some China stocks. One of them that I'm in that was in here was Neo that I bought yesterday, right around here, right before it broke out of this 2-day high. Is one that held up for me today, and this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. When the market was down 8% to whatever the Qs were down, I'm not sure exactly what did they finish down? Yeah, 1.2%. I love seeing stocks that were bucking the trend. Okay, in other words, the sellers tried to come in, but buyers are there. Buyers are propping these things up. Now, in the overall picture of these things, yes, they're in a downtrend, but look at these stocks who are trying to maybe break out of this downtrend. And Jamie, I noticed a lot of China stocks today were breaking this downtrend. So I don't know if this announcement or something may have something to do with some outflows coming out and maybe going into China stocks. One of them that I missed today that I loved the daily was DQ, from yesterday. And I passed on this one and bought Plug instead. And of course, Plug didn't do like that. but anyway, there's another China play, and just some of your overall, averages kind of held up. KWeb looks like it may be
I've
trying to
noticed
turn.
that. I've noticed that, Andy. I mean, CGA, right? Everybody's probably familiar with that one. I mean, it's been
Yep.
on a tear as of
Yep.
late. So
Let me take
yeah,
off
a lot of
this.
these Chinese stocks are blasting off.
Yeah, yeah. So you might want to keep even FXI. Look at the look in this thing. That actually, it looks like it may be turning the corner there. And so keep an eye if you're not afraid to play China stocks. You got to sometimes be careful which ones you're jumping in. Like I can't remember that China Starbucks, Jamie, that um, we're cooking the books.
Oh,
And
that was
yeah, yeah,
Luckin.
yeah, that's right. What was that? LU.
I think it was Luck, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was Luke,
Or
LU.
LK, something like that.
Yeah, somebody will know and they'll throw it in there. But anyway, yeah, it's got its head chopped off overnight. But there's a lot of companies that have been around over there, been trading. Like Neo, I think it's been around for 12 years now, and I don't know if it's been trading for that long, but the company's been around. So anyway, keep your eye if you're not afraid to trade some China stocks. They may be coming in because I mean, look, all you have to do is it's been beaten up. So I mean, there's been a nice little, nothing like the spies. So this is what happens a lot of times. You may see some money flowing into some of these beaten up China plays. So I got my eye on them. I'm mad that I missed that DQ today, but that's okay. Solar's alternative energy. That's what I was kind of focusing on today. I've been kind of watching them for a while, but luckily I've got a Neo yesterday, and some Tesla wasn't really participating. But anyway, getting back to my topic at hand, you know, looking at things like these stocks that may be turning around, that when the market sold off, they held up. Okay, so the way this economy and the stock market has been over the last several years is money just doesn't come out of the market. A lot of times it will come out of one sector and move into another sector. Okay, so you have to have that on the back of your mind, and maybe, you know, some opportunity to be had out there on some of these stocks that may have been beating up. Here's another one, Jamie, that had a crazy move early in the day, but of course, kind of a nasty tail there, but maybe one to put on the radar. No one likes seeing a big old wick like that, but uh, toilet preparation manufacturing. Hey, we don't care. All we care about is the stock, the chart, and, you know, can it make me money?
Yeah, we don't care if it's microchips or potato chips, right? That's the old
Yeah,
saying.
or toilet paper or whatever. Yeah, yeah, that's what you're right. Potato chips or microchips. Uh, let's just go through real quick of them and just take a look. You know, some things that are has some cigarette manufacturing there. ARRY, electric power generation. Surprised that's not paying a dim. Looked at that one. Band. You know, if it breaks above this level right here, maybe something to look at. I am not going to, you know, share these guys, so you can just follow along. If you have access to this revenue growth fishing, if you go to the Traders Vault, it'll be in there, so you can easily have access and go through these and mark up the ones you want to, instead of just having me doing them for you. But, you know, all the ones we're looking at up here all finished up on a nasty day in the market. So, you know, ones you might want to keep your eye on. That's an interesting one right there. Gonna dig it in. It looks like it's trading up after hours too. Not sure what's going on there. And I like I said, for me, I'm not looking in here to show you stocks uh, to keep your eye on. You can do that yourself. But I wanted to point out some things that I do anytime we get a nasty move like that. You know, what held up? Here's VIPs. Here's another beaten up China play. Now, this obviously had some ugly news just about a month ago, so sometimes these have to work themselves out for a couple of months, so you might want to be careful with this one. Here's one I thought was interesting, this Party City. Okay, this is one I'll probably put a markup, you know, that 1 month high right there. If it goes off, you know, basically today's high gets over that, maybe something you want to take a look at. So anyway, that is that. I'm going to move on pretty quick because the price alerts. We want to go into the price alerts and talk about that. We get more and more people playing it, and it's really fun to watch these the price alerts fire off and see who called them and things like that. It's not seeing too many more. That one, anytime I see a big drop like that, that's something, and that looks like it's a biotech. Yeah, it scares me a little bit. All right, so what I was working on earlier today to show you guys before the market got all nasty and this thing was kind of full of stocks, I actually had to change some of my configuration just to get this number of stocks in there. So what I wanted to do was just build something that's stocks trading in a tight range, and they have a strong score. Now, what is a score? Score is our composite rating. Okay, you can see it right here. This GRT doesn't have a very strong score, but if I look at some of these other ones, you know, there's something with a EA Sports, or not EA Sports, Electronic Arts, strong score, and it's been kind of trading sideways. Okay, now earlier today when it was in here, it was close to breaking out of this range. That's the kind of stuff we want to see. Here's one that's holding up very well after a huge gap up back on this day over here. It's been trending up nicely, and it's been kind of going sideways. There's another one, ARCC. ACN looks like it tried to go today, got caught in the market turmoil and sold off. Yum Brands, look at that nice little sideways pattern. That's what we call a bull flag. The stock's had a huge move, okay, and it's not pulling back that much. It's kind of going sideways, painting itself into a corner. This one gets above this level right here, could really take off. So how do we create this? And this is probably the most important part of this segment is how to use your different range filters, guys. It's amazing what you can build once you get to where you can master these different ranges. You can build these kind of bull flaggish looking things. Uh, I have an alert called bull flag intraday, and I have one bull flag for a daily setup as well. And I'm going to show you what I use to build them. And I talk about this a lot in my webinars because I can't. They're that powerful, and I think more and more people should use them and like I said, master them. Okay, one of them is called position and range. Okay, this is, of course, is a 5-day range, but we have it on many time levels, all the way from a 5-minute to a yearly range or a lifetime range. Okay, so you can pinpoint little areas in that range that you would like for for the stock to be at during that time. So position and ranges are very powerful. Another one is just range. Okay, not a position in range, but like in this case, a 60-minute range. Okay, and you're saying, well, what does that mean? Well, you can control the min and the max of that range. Okay, so if I put 0.5 in this right here, okay, which it means over a 60-minute range, the stock cannot move more than 0.5%. Okay, so it's kind of forcing it to kind of put in, that. Now I can make this a lot tighter if you're looking for like intraday stuff, but this is more of a daily setup, so I'm not, it doesn't need to be that tight. But these are very powerful to use if you're looking for compressed stocks that have been trading sideways over a certain time frame. Very powerful. So position and range, just your range filters, and like I said, this comes in many time intervals. So take a look at those. And the last one is, I'm not sure I used one in this one, but it's called, I'll spell it out for you. It's called change in. I'm not going to spell it out for you. I wish I had one in here, but let's do this. Let me do this right here and just pull it up. So jot these down, guys. So change in 2 minutes, change in 10 minutes. Okay, this can be a very powerful filter when you're wanting to see how much of stocks that have been moved. So example, if you want to see a stock that has at least moved up 5% in the last, let's say 5 days, you could come here and you could add this filter, and you could put in 5%. I do these a lot of times when I'm building stuff where I want a movement and then I want some sideways action. Okay, I'll put like change in 20 days. It have to be up at least 5%, 3%, whatever I want to use during that time. Okay, that assures me that the stock's had a move before it's started trading sideways by using these other filters. I hope this is making sense, guys, because a lot of people wish that we had more geometrical patterns, but it's amazing what you can build when you use a combination of, and I'm going to show you one more time, because a combination of change in, how did this thing get big on me here? Ranges and position in ranges. Okay, so remember those 3 filters and play around with them on a weekend, and you're going to be really surprised what you can build with those things. All right. How does the score? Okay, great question, Joseph. Oh, so what we have here is a score like this Yum Brands. Okay, you can see it has a, let me get out of this real quick. Yum Brands has a score of 93. Okay, and I'm going to give you a few little hints about, I can't tell you obviously exactly how we compute it because it's proprietary. Okay, we do some other stuff with this. As a matter of fact, our new strength TI alerts are kind of built on this, but they don't take into fundamental metrics into account. But for the score, we use about 14 technical metrics, okay, and we use about 5 fundamental metrics. And I'm gonna show you, because I built this score. I'm gonna tell you the things I kind of look out for. Okay, there's a cash debt ratio in it. Okay, it's big on not real big, but earnings, revenue growth, and I'm trying to remember some of the other stuff. Let's see, maybe there's a couple of more in there. uh, I don't think I have dividend in it, but anyway, about 4 or 5 fundamental stuff in there. I'm highlighting some ones that are kind of important, maybe some price to earnings stuff in there as well. But the gist of it is technical. Okay, we're all traders here at Trade Ideas. Okay, so we obviously pay attention to technicals over fundamentals. Okay, fundamentals not all the time tell the truth, but technicals really don't lie, in my opinion. So, but hope that answers your question, Joseph. Uh, yeah, a good score. Obviously, a lot depends on the market. Obviously, if you're in a very bearish market and everything's breaking down technically, all the scores are going to come down. Okay. In a bull market like we've seen now, anything above, I'd say 85 is pretty darn good. Anything below 60, yeah, it's getting pretty bad. Okay. uh, I mean, you can go through and look at a lot of the charts, and get an idea of kind of where we put our emphasis on as far as the metrics go. But it's great. What I like about it compared to other scores, composite ratings out there, is ours are in real time. So in other words, a stock can theoretically as well. I saw this happen a couple of years ago. A stock was rated 100 or 99 or something like that, was rated, and had very bad earnings, and the next day it was down to 58. Okay, so you're not going to see that with many other composite ratings. Most of them will not adjust them till maybe weekly or something like that. But ours is in real time, so a stock can fall apart, during the middle of the day, and its score will start getting hit. So I really like that. It's a nice little feature. But it's on its score starts, the lowest you can have is 30. Okay, so it's not 0 to 100. The lowest is 30 and the highest is 100. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water here. Yes, Randall, it's dynamic. Thank you. It does change in real time. All right, let me clear this off and let's pull up the price alerts, because we got a lot to go over today, and I know a lot of people. And guys, kind of reflecting on what we're seeing in the market, and what I'm seeing from a lot of good traders out there is things are difficult. Even though we're not far from all-time highs, things are quite, let me get these at the top. Well, I don't know how that happened, but here's the price alerts, and let's take a look. And guys, Walt was the big winner today. Walt was the big winner with RH, and it was a beautiful little range. You look at that range break, Jamie. You can appreciate that. I know. There was
Absolutely.
your trigger. Yeah, there was your trigger at 619. Okay, right through that breakout, and that's about as basic as a range break as you can get right there. And so great job by Walt. Other than that, I'm not sure if DraftKings was meant to be a short, Vincent, but if it was, I think it might have been. Yeah, you had a 4.25% winner. And besides that, guys, it wasn't too good. And this is, a lot of them are still working. A lot of them never triggered. So, no harm, no foul, so they say. But we're not killing it like we were a couple of months ago. And this has been the case now for the last month to 6 weeks. It's like things are getting wonky and wacky out there for sure, and it's getting more difficult. And this is why it's wise to maybe be more selective, pull back your size, even give yourself a rest if you have to. But when I start seeing what I consider, and I look at a lot of these when you guys place them, a lot of these are great little price alerts being placed at the correct entries, but we're just getting a lot of wacky action right now. So let's do this. Congratulations to Walt. Okay, and Vincent with a nice little follow-up second place there with a 4.25% winner. And we are going to clear these off so I don't get confused. And yeah, I got to clear all the working too, guys. So if you want to use the same ones you had last week, just let me know, but we're going to clear them all off. And here's what you do, guys. You give me a stock. Okay, you give me a price, and I'm going to assume it's a long unless you tell me otherwise. Okay, if you don't tell me it's a short, it's going to go in as a long. And looks like Vincent is first one there with SKLZ.
Oh, that's the one that coughed up its gap this morning, I believe.
Oh yeah, he did. And he wants to do a 1750 long. All right, we'll throw it in there in case it wants to come back tomorrow. And that is Vincent. I'm gonna put him on. All right. And let's see, Fubo from Walt. Take a look at Fubo. It was trying today, I remember seeing, and like a lot of things. And Fubo wants Fubo at 21.54. Oh, I like that. And that is Walt, not Willot. Okay, Snap from Daniel at 59.60. 59. Uh-oh, it came out. I can't do it at 59.60. We're gonna have to go a little higher since it looks like it's trading up in after hours. I tell you what, I'll put it at 60. We'll put it at 60 because you are seeing it now and it's not triggering right now. So if it does trigger, then good for you. Oh, did I not? I don't think I put a name to that. I didn't. Edit
That's
price
okay,
alert.
Andy. You can use the edit alert function.
That's right. Daniel E. I better put an E because I think we have two Daniels. All right. We've got a short on HD. Okay, he's looking for that thing to finally give away on HD. And that would be at 321.40. Boy, you guys are making them tight on me.
Yeah, that one's at 56 right now, so it's probably going to trigger.
Let's see. Okay, let's see what happens. Dave Fontaine. Yep.
Wait, it's at 321.37. So actually 321.40 should not trigger. Should it?
No, I didn't think so. Oh, wait, I did short too, right? 321.40. Okay, let's do. I'm gonna have to do 321.
If it rises, it has to be rises.
Oh, okay. I got you. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's see. AIV. Ooh, 666.
Uh-oh.
Aja. And that is a long at 666. Let's see who we got next. Okay, looks like we're all caught up, guys. We need some more players. We had a huge group last week, so if you're out there and you have a stock that you're looking at, you've been kind of eyeballing, hey, give us the symbol and the price.
Okay, so maybe I was mistaken. Dave is saying it's not a rise, but it's lower than that price on HD.
Okay, wait just a minute. Well, it's trading right now at 321.13. So we
It
can't put
has
it
to
that
rise. It
tight.
has to
Yeah,
rise to
it
that
does
price.
include the after hours. Make it 321. Okay, we'll do that. And then if it goes off, I'll give it to you.
There you go.
Oh, wait. I'm going to have to delete that old one. No, delete that one. All right. We're in business here. Okay. ATKR. And that is at short below 261.50. What? Oh, wait. I'm 76. Never mind. 76.44. I got on another one. All right. I see what he's looking at. And that is Paul B. And we have a PayPal.
Short below 261.50.
And that is from Jeffrey. And we have snap long at 60. So we're going to have two snaps, or we already have?
Somebody else did snap.
Yeah, let's
Was it
see.
a short or a long? Can't remember now.
It's a long. It's a long. And it's, you know what? You're going to have to pick another one, George. Unfortunately, Daniel already has that at the same price, 60. So first come, first serve. I know George, so he has a bunch in his quiver. Okay.
Playboy at 43 then.
Okay.
Still kicking myself for not getting into that one when it broke. ATH.
I know. Gosh, I didn't learn to spell. And that is George Young. I think he's only George anyway.
You can just change his name to Gregor. It's okay.
Okay. PayPal went off. That's okay. We're gonna leave it. If they go off after I set them, then that's just good trading. All right.
We got one. Did you get DGX there?
No, I missed it. DGX.
Long at
Okay.
134. EMA.
Okay. All right, guys. If you have one to give, you got to give it here soon. I'm going to be bringing Scotty in a minute. Going once. Going twice. And let me share them. All right, we got sold. There you go. That's right, Dave. All right, let me share these. We got about close to 10 anyway. So let me share, copy all, and you guys can keep track of them yourself. We have to start making some like wagers on this. Be like horse betting.
Well, at some point in the future, that's going to be doable.
That's correct. That's
through
right.
the software.
That's
the Trader
right.
Duels just got put on the back burner for a while.
Yep. All right, they're in there, guys. I'm going to bring Scott in. You guys hold on. He's going to offer you a discount, so hang tight.
Yeah, thank you. A couple items. Go ahead and grab that earnings ebook. It is a great one. It gives you some great advice on what to do with earnings season. Go to trade-ideas.com/earnings. It's free and it's got some cloud links you can import into your layout. Good news, we've got a 2-week test drive coming up on May 10th. So for 10 trading days, that's 2 weeks. You can try Trade Ideas Premium. If you're a standard subscriber, you can try it out, see what the premium features are like. Or if you're not a subscriber, you can try out everything for 2 weeks. We do charge $8.99. We have extra support going on during those 2 weeks, and also live real-time data and all the extras. So go ahead and register your spot. Go to tradeIdeas.com/test drive and make sure you've got a place those 2 weeks. It's one of our most popular events that we do several times a year, and we're looking forward to seeing you in there. We've got a podcast. There's a new episode up 2 weeks ago. Go ahead and check it out. We're going to have a new one out pretty soon. Trade Ideas Podcast is what to search for. Go ahead and download the newest app. Get ready to get the next one as soon as it comes out, and check out the archives. Use the code opportunity and save 15% off your upgrade from standard to premium or your new Trade Ideas subscription. Just go ahead and use that code on checkout. And you can find our Steve Gomez at TI Steve G on Twitter. We also have at QuantBot is Jamie Hodge. And also Trade Ideas at Trade Ideas is another handle you can check out on Twitter. Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook handle. Go ahead and like everything that we post. And any questions, email info@tradeideas.com. Goes to our help desk software. It's the best place to send any questions. And recording of this will be available later on tonight or tomorrow morning, and you get an email tomorrow with a link to the playlist where you can find it. So thank you, Andy and Jamie. Have a great time.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I'll see some of you guys tomorrow in the support session.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.